Good morning. It's Friday, September 26th. Here's what we're working on.
I'm Simone Gavros reporting live from the Canada Post processing plant in Stoney Creek. More than 55,000 Canada Post workers are back on strike across Canada after the government announced new changes that are going to be going in place.
In a few weeks, our government will introduce legislation to ban speed cameras in Ontario.
New legislation could see more than 700 speed cameras removed.
We were caught off guard.
Number 8, a home run against Noah Cameron in Kansas City, a left-hander.
And he's hit it high and deep to right. Grand slam, Dalton Varsho.
And that grand slam in the 6th helps the Blue Jays stay on top.
We're on top of things on this beautiful Friday morning. Good morning, one and all.
Okay,
Morning.
and fingers crossed, Brian, we don't have traffic problems that we had yesterday.
Oh, what a nightmare yesterday.
For hours and hours and hours.
Everybody stuck in traffic yesterday, and you couldn't go anywhere. You thought, okay, I'll take this route because it'll be it was packed. All the other arteries were busy. Even the side streets were busy yesterday. So yeah, let's hope that today is a lot. Well, usually on Friday you get a little bit lighter volume on the roads, so hopefully we don't have any problems on the highways this morning like we did yesterday with that truck fire on the QEW coming off the Skyway. So today we're looking at some sunshine. A bit more sunshine as the day progresses. We're going to have a mostly cloudy sky this morning, and then we're going to see some sunshine later on, a bit more as the day progresses. But today we should hit about 23 degrees, humidex around 27, so a pretty nice day. And then what a weekend to come. Lovely sunshine. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Right now we're sitting at 15. Traffic this morning, yeah, it's moving, so we don't have any problems here on the 403. That's our exclusive camera, doing fine at the moment. To some other MTO traffic cameras, QEW at Grays Road. So on this camera, Toronto-bound lanes toward the Skyway heading away from us. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, this is on the Hamilton side. That's moving nicely. Same with Bronte Road. Basically, that's all the way the highways look this morning. So please take it carefully. We will look at weather and traffic in detail as usual coming up right now. The news.
All right, thank you, Brian. Canada Post workers are back on strike this morning across the country after the government's announced a number of big changes for the corporation, including its plan to end door-to-door mail delivery. Simone Gavros joins us live from the Canada Post processing plant in Stoney Creek with the details. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Rick. And you can already see behind me there are just some workers that are on strike here this morning. Now, the union representing around 55,000 workers says that they were caught off guard by these changes that were announced by the government yesterday, and they're calling it an attack on the Postal Service and its workers. Now, this will be the second full strike action that we're seeing in almost a year after workers walked off the job last year in November for almost a month. Now, this means, as the strike is happening right now, it means that there's going to be no mail or packages being delivered while the strike is happening, nor will any new items be accepted. Some post offices might also be closed. The corporation says they're disappointed that the union has chosen to escalate its strike activity, which it says will further deteriorate Canada Post's financial situation. The procurement minister announced a number of those sweeping changes yesterday aimed at shoring up Canada Post's finances, including slowing down how often mail is delivered and closing some post offices. Now, these were changes that Canada Post welcomed, but the union calls it an outrage and fear it could result in major job losses. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says the reform of Canada Post is long overdue and urged Ottawa to push forward with the changes. Now, we are waiting to hear a bit more from the union. I'm expecting to speak with the union president here in the local part of Hamilton starting at 7 a.m. And we're hoping to hear more from Canada Post as well about this latest strike action. For now, Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Simone. Niagara police have released photos of a man in a vehicle they're looking for after a shooting Wednesday night in Grimsby. The victim is recovering in hospital after he was shot in the parking lot of Andrew Peller Estates Winery on South Service Road near the border with Stoney Creek. So police are looking for a black man with a slim build. He was wearing black clothing, black and red shoes, and white socks. And he was carrying a blue shopping bag. They believe believe a gray or silver 2000 to 2010 car was involved in the shooting. It has dark tinted windows and there is a large dent in the rear door of the driver's side.
Hundreds of thousands of people were impacted by yesterday's truck fire on the QEW. Brian was following it all morning long yesterday in traffic. The fire started at around 6:30 in the Niagara-bound lanes near Nikola Tesla Boulevard, and it took more than 12 hours until those lanes at the bottom of the Burlington Skyway Bridge were cleaned and repaired. Traffic was tied up in and around Hamilton all day. The OPP says the fire was caused by a tire rupture, which quickly spread to the cab and diesel tanks. The truck was carrying nickel tablets. No one was hurt.
One person's been killed in a crash in Burlington. It happened at Guelph Line and Britannia Road yesterday morning around 10 and involved an SUV and a gravel truck. Halton police say a passenger in the SUV died of her injuries after she was taken to hospital. The driver's being treated for minor injuries. The truck driver wasn't hurt.
A Canadian man visiting Wisconsin for a golf trip was fatally shot early Wednesday morning. Police in Sheboygan Falls say 32-year-old Giovanni Michael Robinson, originally from Stouffville, Ontario, was found fatally shot early Wednesday. Investigators believe it was a drive-by shooting involving a dark-colored SUV. So far, no arrests have been made, and a motive remains unclear. Robinson was a former OHL player, having suited up for the Stouffville Spirit and Niagara Ice Dogs before playing university hockey and a season professionally in Europe. The league is mourning what it calls a tragic loss. Robinson was living in Pennsylvania.
Premier Doug Ford has insisted for weeks that speed enforcement cameras are nothing more than a cash grab, and he will introduce legislation next month to ban them. Instead of speed cameras, the Premier is promising municipalities the money to build more speed bumps, roundabouts, and flashing signs. He wouldn't say how much money will be available or how it will be allocated. Just last week, Hamilton City Council voted to double the number of automated speed cameras after seeing success with the initial program.
We have our own data here in Hamilton that has shown a reduction in the incidence of speeding because the number of tickets and the amount that's coming in is reducing over time. So that clearly shows, as do other studies, that it is an effective tool.
Burlington and Hamilton both say they plan to push forward with their speed camera programs as they wait to see details of the Ontario government's proposed legislation. The Premier has lashed out at the federal government for trying to curb the province's use of the notwithstanding clause.
Premiers across the country are on fire. This is the worst decision Prime Minister Carney has ever done, and it will be an absolute disaster. And I don't believe it's going to go through. It just takes Quebec and Ontario to block it. You need 2/3 of the premiers and 50% of the population. So why is he wasting his time? He should get back to work and focus on what areas really matter.
Ford says it's an overreach for the court to be making decisions about the Constitution. The court has yet to decide if it will look into the matter. The federal government has asked the Supreme Court to do a judicial review of the use of the clause in the Constitution. Ontario is the only province to have used it, and the decision of the court could affect the way that it can be used by both provinces and the federal government. Premier Ford also took time to urge the federal government to allow the beluga whales still left at Marineland to be exported overseas if a proper home can be found.
They have a responsibility to take care of these whales. They need to make sure that they're healthy. And we do inspections, by the way, at Marineland, but they need to take care of these whales. It's unfortunate. You know, imagine me, I feel sorry for these whales. You get 30 in what, 1 acre? And you're shoving all these poor whales in there? It's a very difficult situation. If we could find beautiful homes for them and if the federal government approves it, give them a beautiful, nice home.
Ford says that the owners of the park in Niagara Falls will eventually run out of money used to feed and care for the belugas, and time is of the essence.
Sportsline, the Blue Jays and Red Sox met last night in the finale of their 3-game series at the Dome, and the first half of the contest was a nail-biter until the 6th inning.
Number 8, a home run against Noah Cameron in Kansas City, a left-hander.
And he's hit it high and deep to right. Grand slam, Dalton Varsho.
Varsho cranked his 5th career Grand Slam as the Blue Jays offense finally came to life, and Toronto picked up a much-needed win by beating Boston 6-1. George Springer added a 2-run blast, and 3 relievers combined for 6 perfect innings before the Red Sox scored their only run in the 7th. It was an important win for Toronto because it allowed them to remain tied with the Yankees for first place in the AL East after New York beat the White Sox 5-3. The Jays close out the regular season with 3 home games against Tampa Bay.
From 52, the kick wobbles, but makes it through. And the Seahawks win it at the gun.
Jason Myers booted a 52-yard field goal as time expired as the Seahawks withstood a late rally by Kyler Murray and the Cardinals to beat Arizona 23-20. Sam Darnold threw for 242 yards and a touchdown to pace Seattle to a 20-6 lead midway through the 4th. The Seahawks blew that 14-point lead in the 4th quarter, but still won their 8th straight meeting against their NFC West rivals. Murray tied the game with a TD pass with 28 seconds to play, but Darnold got the Seahawks in a field goal position for the win. Tiger Cats go for their 4th consecutive victory tomorrow afternoon when they battle the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Hamilton can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Toronto loss tonight in BC. The Ticats can clinch first place in the CFL's East Division and a bye to the East Final with a win coupled with a Montreal loss tonight against Calgary. Edmonton Elks owner Larry Thompson has died. The team says the 65-year-old Thompson passed away yesterday after suffering from complications following an unspecified surgery. Thompson was a longtime season ticket holder before being unveiled as the Elks owner on August 15th of last year. The Maple Leafs' 4th line dominated the Canadiens as the NHL preseason motors on. Scott Laughton scored twice and added 2 assists to lead Toronto to a 7-2 thrashing of Montreal at the Bell Center. Linemate Steven Lorentz scored 2 goals in 96 seconds in the second period as the Leafs improved to 2-0-1 in the exhibition season. After the game, the Habs announced that defensemen Caden Gooley and Noah Dobson were day-to-day with groin injuries, while David Reinbacher left the game with an injury as well. The mascots for the 2026 FIFA World Cup have been unveiled. Maple the Moose will represent Canada, Clutch the Bald Eagle is the U.S. mascot, and Zayu the Jaguar is repping Mexico. The World Cup is set to take place across 16 cities across North America, including Toronto and Vancouver. The 3 will be featured on new merchandise, a video game, and in meet-and-greet events ahead of the World Cup next June. It's a busy sports weekend ahead. Canada and host England meet in the final of the Women's Rugby World Cup tomorrow. Forge FC hosts Pacific FC tomorrow afternoon at 4 at Hamilton Stadium. The 1-3 McMaster football team travels to London tomorrow to play the Western Mustangs. The Brantford Bulldogs hosting Sudbury tomorrow night.
Here we go into a Friday morning. Yay! We made it to the weekend, and it looks like a gorgeous weekend. Oh, but I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. Let's talk about traffic first of all. Traffic is doing fine this morning. Just to calm you down after what we had to put up with yesterday, we're doing fine this morning. So nothing here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. Looks good at the moment. Actually, all of our MTO traffic cameras look good as well. Let's go into St. Catharines, QEW east of Lake, both directions doing fine. Same with Grays Road, Stony Creek. North of 2, so you're coming off the Skyway Bridge, heading Toronto bound towards us, doing fine. Ford plant all the way through Etobicoke Creek. Looks good. All right, let's get you into this Friday morning. Temperature at the moment, a couple of degrees cooler than it was yesterday morning. We're sitting at 15 degrees at the moment. The winds are light, the humidity is up there, and it's a mostly cloudy sky to start the morning here. Temperature today for school going to hit 23 degrees. It'll feel like about 27, but we will see some sun. Now, it'll be a mostly cloudy start to the day, and then we'll see just a little bit more sunshine for later on this afternoon. No problems with air quality today, still in the low risk category. We've got a low pressure system. It's going to just sit across the Great Lakes for today into tomorrow. Going to give us a little bit of cloud cover for the day tomorrow, but generally it's going to get better. And then we're looking at sun for Sunday. So what we have for today, temperature-wise, anyhow, we're looking at 23 to 24 degrees generally. So some sun to start the morning along the north shore of Lake Erie. Otherwise, clouds are going to linger for the rest of the horseshoe and then start to clear as the afternoon goes on. Tonight will be mainly mainly clear, so just a few clouds. Temperatures 11 to 13 to 14, actually even 16 for Toronto tonight. And then tomorrow, beautiful day tomorrow, mainly sunny skies to a mix of sun and clouds, 24, 25, 26. Humidex tomorrow, about 30. So what a lovely day it's going to be tomorrow. So out the door, 26th morning of September, temperature right now sitting at 15. It is mostly cloudy at the moment. Long range coming up. Annette, Rick.
All right, thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic. She'll have a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And President Trump announcing big tariffs for pharmaceuticals starting next month. We'll have those details coming up next. Hey, look, Emily's back.
Yay! Hi, good morning.
What's coming up in Chit Chat?
Well, we've got lots of good stuff today. In a rare update, Merriam-Webster announced that more than 5,000 new words have been added to the dictionary.
5,000?
5,000. And
Wow.
some of them I'm like, really? Do we need that word? That word could have gone, but we'll discuss.
Okay.
And some words are gone.
Some words are gone that I'd never even heard of, but again, we'll discuss. Spaceballs 2 is officially in the works, and one actor is actually coming out of retirement for it.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
And the trailer for James Cameron's Avatar Fire and Ash is out, and boy, does it ever look incredible.
Rumor has it it's already 12 hours long? No?
16, actually.
16?
Yeah.
That's the director's cut.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emily. In overseas trading this morning, the Canadian dollar is down 3 basis points to 71.72 cents U.S. Gold is up $10.60 an ounce. Crude oil is up slightly by 9 cents a barrel, trading at $65.07 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets in London, Frankfurt, and Paris are all up.
In Asia, numbers across Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai were down by triple digits in some markets. And on North American markets, the TSX closed yesterday with a drop of 24 points. On the TSX, the Dow Jones was down 173, but the Nasdaq squeaked up 16.
A new massive tariff on some imported drugs will take effect starting next month. Yesterday, President Donald Trump announced brand name or patented drugs will be subject to a 100% tariff. The tariff will not only apply to drug makers who are building manufacturing plants in the United States. Trump is using tariffs as a way to pressure drug manufacturers to ramp up production in the U.S. and to strengthen the supply chain for essential medicines. The president did not mention levying tariffs on generic pharmaceutical imports.
Lower interest rates and softening prices aren't enough to get many first-time homebuyers into the market in this country. A survey from Royal LePage shows 13% of Canadian adults are actively working towards buying a home in the next 2 years. Only a small portion of them, though, plan to have a home in the next 12 months. The company's CEO says economic uncertainty over trade with the United States is warding customers off until there are signs of stability. He says others are waiting for house prices to lower further.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. Brian is going to return with your traffic update and your 7-day weather forecast. Good morning.
6:23, it is Friday, and we've made it to the weekend, and we'll talk about the forecast for the weekend coming up. First of all, look at traffic, QEW 7th. Nothing to see there. It's all doing fine. Now we're starting to see some volume across the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. This is on the Hamilton side, Toronto bound towards us. Same here at Brodie. Nothing at Lorne Park, clipping ahead to the 403 west of Mississauga, so Toronto bound lanes heading away from us. No, all doing fine so far today. Hamilton's temperature under mainly cloudy skies, sitting at 15 degrees right now. 16 Grimsby, Mississauga, 17 for Toronto. So seasonals are not fluctuating today. 18 daytime high, 8 for the overnight low, and those are our sun times and records for today. For school today, we should be 17 for the first bell. A little bit of sun, but a little bit more sunshine for after school, and 23. Now, this is the weekend that we're thinking about checking out the fall colors. Look at Central Ontario. Now, that's Algonquin Park. 80% leaf change there now with some significant leaf fall. So those are the leaf changes in the other areas areas, so enjoy your time if you're looking at the colors this weekend, because look at this. We mentioned today 23, tonight down to 13, tomorrow 25 degrees, humidex of 30. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Look at Sunday, even sunny and 25, and the sun continues all the way through into next week. Temperatures do start to come down a bit, 23, 21, and then 19 for Wednesday and Thursday. It's your forecast. Annette, Rick.
All right, thank you, Brian. A huge congratulations to CHCH videographer Eric Vienna.
Last night in Toronto, he won an award from the Radio Television Digital News Association, RTDNA Canada, for his coverage of the solar eclipse in Niagara Falls. Here's a little bit of his story.
Definitely chillier. And yeah, it is starting to darken up now, so we're about there.
Then in what felt like no time at all, totality. It's getting dark right now. As you can hear, everyone behind me is just cheering, and it's getting darker and darker by the second. This is definitely very eerie. I almost have to turn on my lights.
It was kind of like a spiritual moment, really, truthfully.
It's amazing how it got dark all of a sudden. You know, I didn't even know. It was really shocking.
Now we have about 3 minutes of this complete totality. As you can see over here, the street lights have turned on at this point. People are cheering as they can see the moon and the sun just a little bit. I got to put on my glasses right now so I can be able to see. You can see a little sliver of the sun coming out right now, and it's starting to get bright.
It's so cool that he won. So that was the Regional National Awards, and then I believe that his will go on for a national competition as well.
You can also check out the full story at chch.com. I remember going to TB McQuestion Park, Hamilton Mountain, with my son to watch the eclipse. And as Eric mentioned, it was kind of eerie in terms of how dark it got.
And how quiet it got.
Yeah.
And birds.
And birds were like, we don't want any part of this.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a squirrel about, and then the sun came out again, all the squirrels appeared. It was kind of fun.
It was, So, and Eric did a great job because there was so much going on, and he had to think about, I remember him talking about like the lighting levels for his cameras, how things kept changing.
Yeah.
So
very unique experience.
Good on you, Eric.
Stay with us. More to come after the break here on Morning Live.
Every now and then